I want to launch a lawsuit against the US government to unite us to fight their corruption. Authority without wisdom is tyranny. Wisdom without authority becomes anarchy, and enforcement without wisdom and authority becomes destruction. In our society, we have authority and enforcement, but we are lacking in wisdom, or rather the willingness to act upon our wisdom. We know we can't trust the government, the corporations, and media, so we dream about tearing down the system. But that would lead us to anarchy. The rich and powerful have upset the balance of authority, wisdom, and enforcement, but we shouldn't make the same mistake. And I know authority and enforcement paint a picture of oppressiveness, but that's only when they have been corrupted. In their purest definitions, authority is the willingness to lead, a very important component of a structural organization like human civilization. And enforcement is the will to carry on. If we carry on with wisdom, we can keep marching towards progress. But if we carry on with corruption, we march towards collapse. And so here we are, knowing about the corruption, but not doing the difficult and necessary things to stop it. And I get it. I know it's easier to live in a corrupt, comfortable society, even if it is becoming increasingly uncomfortable, than it is to live free through hard times, especially if we can put off the hard times for the next generation to deal with it. But there are still baby steps we can take to stop the corruption of the government and corporations from turning us into addicts of comforts and convenience that will ultimately lead to weakness, sickness, and regret. I think the two best things we can do are to overcome the propaganda of consumerism and capitalism. Corporations and government will psychologically manipulate us with marketing and gaslighting to convince us something is wrong with us, so we should buy their product. And buying as much as we can is freedom. When the reality is there is nothing wrong with us so much as there is something wrong with the system that is infecting us. You're not broke because you don't listen to financial gurus and get up at 5 a.m. to journal. It's because rent tripled and wages flatlined. It's not us, it's the system that forces us into survival and tells us it's personal failure. The other thing is a tricky one because politicians lie so much, but electing politicians who don't have ties to the rich can help the working class. There is no reason to serve the rich at the expense of the working class. It's not part of an economic strategy that takes expertise to understand. It's just corrupt politicians selling us out. We need to elect politicians who will pass laws to limit the lying, the bribery, or as they like to call it, the lobbying, and the insider trading, and pass measures to protect the core labor force. Essential workers shouldn't be treated as expendable. Just like there is separation of church and state, there needs to be separation of business and state to get money out of politics that are responsible for all of society, not just the corporations. Please subscribe to the channel to support this organization of truth, life, and freedom so we can sue the US government and expose their failures to themselves, the mindless citizens, and the world.